Hi, welcome to the Good Success Movement. I am Dr. Celeste Owens, and I thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to stop by and visit my video blog. This is a blog about succeeding in every area of your life, and more importantly, about obtaining the good success that God has for you. All of us have been created and put here for a reason. We have a specific purpose that we have come to this earth for, and we should be about fulfilling that purpose and about doing the things that we are required to do so that we could do what is pleasing to God. So that's what this blog is all about. It's also about developing the mindset that allows you to be successful. Speaking of mindsets, I'm reading this fantastic book entitled Mindsets. It actually is by Dr. Carol Dweck, I think is how you pronounce her name, is D-W-E-C-K. And it talks about two mindsets. One is the fixed mindset and the other is the growth mindset. And she talks about how when we are of one mindset, which is the fixed mindset, we keep ourselves stuck because of an erroneous way of thinking about life and about our abilities. But when we have a mindset of growth, we are able to do really above what we think our abilities allow us to do and what we think our gifts allow us to do. So it's a fascinating read. I recommend it. I'm actually in the middle of it. So if you start reading now, you can catch up with me and we can talk about it. But anyway, what I want to talk to you today about is how life presents itself with really some wonderful, unique opportunities that we often miss because we are too busy, we have other things we need to do, we don't have time to pay attention to life, we're just doing life. And I want you to really take the time now to really start to notice the things that are going on around you, to notice the people you're around, and to notice the relationships that God has put in your life, and really start to understand why certain things are put in your life. We have everything we need to succeed right where we are. We don't have to always push towards the next thing and thinking if I get the next big thing, I get the next big job or speaking engagement, if I get the next big relationship where I can get married, whatever it is, I will be a success. No, that is indeed not true. You could be a success right where you are. So I want to tell you how there have been a couple of instances in my life where I have encountered some people and some situations that I thought were just kind of life happening, but they really were life-changing experiences for me. So I'll start with one. I have a couple of them for you. One is I was invited to be in my friend Shanna's wedding. We were friends in college, and she was marrying this wonderful man, and she wanted me to be a part of her wedding. At the time that she was getting married, I was in graduate school, and I was just broke. That's all I could say. I just had no money. And of course, if you're going to be a part of a wedding, you're going to be a bridesmaid, you have to spend money. I remember I tried to get out of being at her wedding several times because of the money, and I had told her, I said, you know, I don't have a lot of money. I can't even buy the dress right now. And she was like, I'll buy the dress for you. You can just pay me back when you can. And I'm like, well, I can't buy the shoes. I can't buy the stockings. And I'll just get it all for you, and you can just pay me back when you can. And I thought, first of all, that was pretty amazing because you're already paying for a wedding. You're the bride, and now you're talking about you have to foot the money for your bridesmaid. But anyway, she did all of that, and I indeed attended the wedding. And guess what? At that wedding, she was marrying a young man named Marius, whose brother happened to be in the wedding. His name is Andel, and he was the best man. I was a bridesmaid. I met Andel at that wedding. We connected right away, talked for about 4 or 5 months, got engaged, and then were married the following year. So is that not amazing? So sometimes opportunities that you don't even want to take are God ordained, and you just need to go for it. Another instance in my life was when I was looking to move from a job that I felt like I had sort of outgrown in some respects, had done what I was supposed to do there at that job, and was really ready to move on. And I had been invited to speak at the First Baptist Church of Glenarden, which is actually my home church, and I was asked to speak on depression. And I was told that I would be joined by another psychiatrist, Cynthia, which we're now friends. We met at that event and we're friends now, but I told that I would be speaking with her. We get to the event on that day. It was on a Saturday, and I was all excited that I had this nice speaking engagement, and 3 people show up. And one person was someone we didn't know, and the other 2 were her parents. So tell me how much of a waste I thought that was, that we were there with the 3 people. Not that they didn't want to hear the information, but you know, we just kind of thought we'd have a room full of people. But anyway, as her and I started to talk, because we were delaying the start of the presentation, hoping that more people would show up, she started to tell me about how she was in private practice. And the minute she started talking, I was like, oh my goodness, this is weird. I had never considered private practice, but it sounds like something that I probably should be doing. And when she told me about it, she said we could talk more about it later. I called her up, and before I know it, months later, I'm in private practice. I just, you know, ended up weaning myself from the other job and started this wonderful private practice that I enjoyed for 4 years. So that was pretty amazing. And the last example I have for you is how I was at a birthday party probably a couple months ago, and I noticed one young lady who had beautiful natural hair, and I just started a conversation with her, and I said, you know, hey, what do you put in your hair? It looks great. And she said, she told me what she put in her hair, and she also says, I have a blog too. And she's Natural Journey, so check her out when you get a chance. She's doing some wonderful work on her video blog. But anyway, she's like, look at my video blog. I go on to try to find her video blog. I couldn't find her at first. I found someone else. I sat for like 30 minutes watching this other person's blog, and all of a sudden, all these ideas started to churn in me, and I started to think, you know, hey, maybe I'm going to start doing video blogs. The weirdest thing, I had never, ever considered sitting in my living room, taping myself, talking to people, ever. But I am enjoying the experience, by the way. So anyway, and then I went on to Natural Journey's blog and just became more and more fascinated. I probably spent a good hour and a half looking at video blogs, and it just became clear to me that that was my next step. That's what I was going to be doing. So I just want to encourage you to pay attention to your environment. Pay attention to the resources that God has put into your life today, and start to take notice of those things and start to take advantage of those things, and really start to know that God has in place everything you need. You don't have to struggle. You don't have to make things happen. It's going to happen if you pay attention to what He's doing. If you're out today and you're driving, or you're at the grocery store and you're standing in line with someone, that might just be your next big venture. That might be the next person that you need to connect with that is on your way to your next step in your destiny. So pay attention. Just don't be impatient. Oh, I can't stand waiting in line. I just can't stand this. Look and see who's around. The next time you go to a seminar, ask God to direct you where to sit. And then know that you're around those specific people because you're supposed to be sitting with those people. And either you're there to help them or they're there to help you, or whichever way. But just start to pay attention to what is going on. So I would love to hear from you. I would love for you to drop me a line or make a comment below about how you are starting to notice your environment, and you're starting to notice how God has already set you up to succeed just the way He intended. Take care, and I can't wait to speak to you. Until next time.